Dubs in the chat. On time stream. www like the.com. Well, this is take two. The first video cut out. Brought to you by Impact.
Hello there once again. It's your old pal, Lock the Bounty Hunter, and on today's very special episode, we got a video from Think Before You Sleep about the perils of modern women turning the age of 30. And boy, this one's going to be a doozy. Link is in the pin comment down below. Let's not waste any more time and dive right in, shall we?
I'm married. Yes, I simply didn't feel it was ever the right time or opportunity to get married in my early to mid-20s. It's kind of nice to see that people aren't rushing into marriage like they used to.
29 if you're wondering. I thought we would just start off with that, considering that her advice is to wait until you're 30 to consider marriage.
It's not just her advice. I mean, it's the advice of the entire womanist narrative. They got everything backwards, and they were able to convince an entire army of women across multiple generations that it's totally normal to freaking wait until your 30s to start thinking about marriage and starting to have families, even though it's a biological fact that a woman's peak fertility is in between the ages of 18 to 25. But apparently, Pokemane's brain is so smooth that she thinks it's worth celebrating that she's a life failure at 30. I'm telling you, that's nothing to be proud of, but don't tell her that. She's too busy trying to marry herself.
As a career-oriented woman, I don't want to settle for someone who's insecure about what I do or wants to control me.
Now, this clip does require a little bit of nuance. For those of you who don't know, this is a famous African-American female streamer named Pokemane, and if that wasn't enough of a cue as to why a partner of hers might be controlling, then look no further than her Instagram page, where she is constantly posting parasocial girlfriend bait to get followers.
Anybody who fantasizes being Pokemane's boyfriend, I have nothing but pity for them. I mean, Pokemane has absolutely no personality whatsoever. She has nothing interesting to say. She's full of herself, and yet for some reason she's one of the most popular streamers on the internet, and I'm still trying to figure out how in the hell that's even possible.
I can imagine why a significant other of hers would have a problem with that. But welcome to modern Twitch, where the worst people you know are finally getting old. Cutie Cinderella is clocking in at 31, and then we have Valkyrie at 34.
I feel mentally stunted. Like, I don't feel 34.
It doesn't matter how you feel, sweetheart. And the fact of the matter is, you're stunted, but in the worst way possible. You have made so many horrible decisions with your life. You're sitting there over the age of 30, and you're acting like a freaking child, which makes perfect sense because you're pretty freaking stupid to ignore basic biology. Now, you may say you don't feel your age. We all know when the camera is off, you're crying yourself to sleep with a pint of some type of ice cream and just begging for a man to choose you. And sister, I'm just here to tell you, that is never going to happen.
I'm a middle-aged woman.
Hassan better wife her up. And finally, as I said, we have Iman, who is about to turn 30.
I've always been someone who wanted kids, wanted to start a family.
You better hurry. Guys need like an extra 10 years to act like they're still in high school, despite being well into adulthood.
You know what? It is pretty awesome being a dude, I'm not gonna lie. Not only are we able to have fun in ways that would drive broads like this crazy, but because we actually know how to work and we're actually capable of doing it without complaining about it, we are able to lead so much more fulfilling lives than life failures like Pokemane, who is saying she wants to have kids. It's always been a dream of hers. And here's my question: then why didn't you? Well, the answer to that one is fairly simple. You got high off the smell of your own freaking queefs. You thought you were self-important and that you didn't need a man and nobody was good enough for you. And you know what? If I'm not good enough for you, I wear that as a badge of freaking honor.
But because of biological limitations, once women hit maybe 22, they gotta get moving before the time runs out.
On top of that, there's such a pressure on women. I think we're constantly told and conditioned to think that our greatest value is bringing life into this world.
And that's an interesting
It
thing.
is.
Mathematics is when you're 50% right, you're 100% wrong.
Impact.
It's a
This episode is brought to you by Impact.
Brain little moron, you are half right. Your fertility is one of your greatest assets in getting a man. And generally speaking, that's more than enough to get a man's interest. But if you decide that your internet fame makes you better than everyone else around you, you're going to waste that youth and fertility, which you clearly did. Now your ovaries are turning to dust, and that ain't society's fault. There's no conditioning there. It's your basic biological drive, and you ignored it because you assumed you had more time.
which I find painfully reductionist.
Clearly, she took her general education courses in college seriously. So now we have more of an insight on why she's in this predicament.
Perfection and power are overrated. I think you are very wise to choose happiness and love.
Uncle Iroh advice videos are looking pretty base these days when it comes to the behavior of Twitch streamers. So as for people like Iman who are following the golden path in their careers, or people who are wasting like a decade doing nothing in their parents' basement,
Hey, that's not fair. The people who live in their parents' basements are way more productive than life failures like Pokemane here.
let me just say that these traditional milestones have been created for a reason, and the reason older people are pressuring you and saying that time is running out is because they know that you only have a finite amount of time to achieve certain things before you're locked out of them.
And that's one of the things that the feminist machine has hammered into the heads of modern women everywhere. They have no idea, or at least they refuse to believe that they're on borrowed time. They only have a small window of peak desirability, and when they decided to adopt some of the worst attitudes imaginable and have some of the dumbest takes that humanity has to offer, they threw all of that away, and it's come to the point where they are not desirable physically, they're not desirable socially, they're just undesirable all around. Now, Pokemon's trying to turn around and try to make herself seem like a lover girl, but she never was. All you gotta do is just take a look at some of her brain slop to be in order to freaking tell that.
And they know that life constantly gets harder and harder as you get older. But when people ignore traditional wisdom and they start running up against the time limit for achieving major life milestones, they'll start coping like this.
Got an engagement ring for myself. Okay, but you guys told me to. The person that you are engaged to the most in your entire lifetime is your damn self.
How in the hell is that supposed to make any sense at all? Like, yeah, you should be taking care of yourself, and yeah, you definitely should want the best for yourself, but I have a feeling that if you got engaged to yourself and tried to marry yourself, the divorce proceedings that you would inevitably end up having to file against yourself would be the stuff of legend. So the more I think about it, yes, Pokemon, for the love of the internet, marry yourself. We need to see the fallout firsthand, and you are the perfect life failure candidate to make that happen.
So why shouldn't I get this ring for my damn self?
That was Pokemon showing off her African-American roots. I'm surprised Beyonce didn't start playing in the background. But also, what a callback to Emma Watson announcing that she was self-partnered when she was about to turn 30.
Self-partnered is not a thing. You might as well just call yourself a narcissist at this point. When you're dealing with self-important idiots like Emma Watson, it really is no surprise that she would say that she was self-partnered, because when look at her, you know that she's freaking full of herself to the point where being around her would give you a massive freaking migraine.
Never believed the whole I'm happy single spiel, but I'm very happy. I call it being self-partnered.
Liar, liar, liar! Oh yeah, sure, Emma, I can definitely tell you're happy there. What with you, just with that blank look on your face and your monotone voice, that is not happiness. That is cope. And sister can't even do that right.
What an internet classic. I'm glad to see that Pokemon is paying tribute by doing her own iteration of it for modern audiences.
This is me proposing to myself. Look at really gorgeous diamond. You know when jewelry is so pretty? You want to eat it?
Pokemon, just admit that you wanted to buy something shiny. You needed an excuse to buy an overpriced ring. That's all this is. And let's just be real here, Pokemon. The only reason why you're proposing to yourself is because you are the only creature on this planet who would say yes to something so idiotic.
Just neat, like it's so delectable.
Am I the only person who thinks this ring looks ugly? It looks like that snake that eats its own tail. I don't know if that's some sort of metaphor or if it's the kind of jewelry that an evil stepmother from a Disney movie would wear.
You're giving this woman way too much credit. There is no way she thought about the symbolism behind the ring. She saw the price tag, she saw the diamonds, and immediately needed an excuse to buy it. That's all it is. Pokemon is not that smart, trust me.
But I guess it's good that she likes it.
Will I be with me for the rest of my life? Well, yes, I have no choice. I'm gonna have the opportunity to gift my husband the sickest.
I see why they nuked the first string.
And I cannot wait to know how much I love gift giving, and just that idea makes me so happy.
No, you like the idea of gift giving when you're the one receiving the gift. You will not buy your husband an engagement ring. Well, to be fair, you're not going to be buying your husband anything because the guy doesn't exist, but in the event of the impossible and some guy is stupid enough to want to waste the rest of his life with you, you're not buying him a ring. You're going to look at him and say, he's a man, he should be buying his own damn ring. And you'll be doing it with that funky sound that you like to do so you can sound extra sassy, because you have no personality, you have to fall back on that whole black thing.
I can think of nothing more emasculating than a woman supposed to do a man. I'll never understand these women's impulse for turning their
Like you would not claim her.
A year or two ago, like a year and a half, something like that, I realized I had been attracting a lot of beta males.
Yeah, right, full disclosure, gentlemen, I've never seen Pokemon's actual content. I've never sat down and watched the stream, mainly because I feel like if I want to get brain damage, I'd have a lot more fun just chugging 5 gallons of 5 o'clock vodka. But at the same time, is this what she talks about on stream? Like, she just talks about herself endlessly? Because I'm assuming it's either that or bastardized textbook leftist politics, because she is truly that brainless. Just take one look at that face and you know there's not a single thought going in that skull of hers.
You know, I was like, I'm trying to cop a dude. All I got are these issues, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what's my problem?
Oh, sit there, trust me. You got more than one.
Maybe it's because you're looking for a guy who would let you propose to him. It's funny watching a person whose entire life history is filmed because you can see her preaching the modern values, followed by getting into various dramas because she's not actually attracted to the relationships that she claims are ideal.
I don't know if this is controversial, but I'm in New York right now, and I've noticed that the hottest men, the most attractive men, all happen to be gay.
There it is right there. When she can't find a man who's willing to stomach her, she just throws out a whole bunch of homophobic slurs and thinks that it's somehow an own against men. As if insulting a man is going to motivate him to want to be with her. But Pokemon, that is not how it freaking works. You don't emasculate a man to motivate him to want to be with you. Now, I don't know a man who's brain damaged enough to actually want to deal with that headache for like the next 3 years before you ultimately divorce him so you have content for your worthless channel and all. But you're not going to insult a man in being interested in you. It's just going to strengthen his resolve.
But instead, he just followed the traditional rules.
Women just want
However,
what they can't
I
have.
a new phase of content creation for Iman, or a new creative outlet.
Well, I owe my career to streaming. It was also the source of a lot of difficult moments and harassment that I don't experience on other platforms, and I can confirm it's been really healing to explore other creative outlets.
Like begging for dudes? Yeah, there's nothing creative about that woman. You're just so desperate for attention that you're picking at the lowest possible fruit, and that is the simp industrial complex. It's about one step above hot tub streaming. That's not a creative outlet. That is you just desperate for attention because nobody wants to watch your crap. And you're hoping that lonely simps out there will throw you $5 for a live stream just so you can get a sense of validation and feel like you matter. But trust me, Pokemon, you couldn't matter less in this world.
Now, a reasonable person might say that being a pretend parasocial girlfriend to tons of lonely men as you pirate old episodes of Avatar for your stream is not very creative, but you know, this is Twitch we're talking about here. I mean, technically, Amaranth is the most well-put-together streamer when it comes to life milestones because she's married.
You know, I don't think it's fair to call Amaranth well put together, considering that she's a worthless avenue stroller who totally ruined Twitch for everybody. Calling her put together is not a fair assessment.
So the standards aren't that high here, but it seems like Iman is graduating to a new era in her career. She started out with her League of Legends N-word phase. If she wanted to speak like that, she took Heroes of Newerth. Then she had her phase where she went after people's sponsors.
And I will say, for this company, to sponsor a video that's literally 20 minutes of talking shit about me, if I ever see you in my inbox...
There's a video of her saying
well, to be fair, at least It's a Gundam produces content that's actually watchable. And shout out to It's a Gundam. Like, seriously, his channel is actually legitimately funny. You should definitely check him out, especially for all of the shade that he throws on Pokemon. He is truly doing the work of the intergalactic space god, Gundam Guard. All hail!
Impact. Gamers don't make breakfast. They drink one of these and keep it pushing.
Fun fucking sight.
After that, she had her entitled rich girl phase. A lot of people were offended by this tweet, but personally, I'm glad that she was being her true self here.
Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Personally, I enjoy it when Catty Pokemon stupidly calls her followers broke beta males. However, now I think that we're entering my favorite era of Pokemon, which is her Eat, Pray, Love phase.
I mean, if there was ever a societal plague rat outside of American Idol, that dumbass show Glee, TikTok, Facebook, pretty much 99% of pop music from the last 15 years, Eat, Pray, Love was a gigantic plague rat that just completely ruined society. There is a special type of annoying to describe a woman who freaking goes abroad for 2 weeks and then comes back enlightened.
Okay, next video. This was a good video. I watched the whole video.
as a single mother. When I think about dating as a single mom, I get so overwhelmed and stressed out because it's like there's never any time that I am not with my baby.
Hi, my name is Riley. I'm 30-year-old double divorced and single mom of 4 kids. Dating as a single mom is so...
The dating scene for single mothers is something that will never truly get easier. When they step into the dating scene, they step into disappointments because not every man is willing to play stepdaddy.
Okay, so I have to admit something. Okay, I'm single. I've been single for, I don't know, it's not like going on 4 years. Okay, I dated one guy in this 4 years. We lasted about a few months, but that was about it. I got bored. I downloaded Bumble, okay, and within 24 hours, this is what happened. Okay, I don't want to go through that many people. Why does dating have to be so hard, okay? I regret paying for this freaking app because now I feel like it's going to waste because I will not be reviewing this many people, okay? I'm just gonna have my best friend do it.
And if you're dating as a single mother and yesterday has came and went and he said nothing about a happy Mother's Day, you ain't get a card, a call, a balloon, leave him. Yesterday. By the time 12 o'clock came midnight and that day was officially over, his ass is grass. Don't text him back.
Yes, I have a kid, but I don't want to date a guy with kids. And here's why. You're like a widower. Why are you single? What did you fucking do? What did you do to the mother of your children? Because I know that girl did not want to break up a home. She did not want to She did not want to do that. She did not want to be a single mother. I'm speaking from fucking experience.
Okay.
Literally,
Yes,
I told the father of my child like every time he did something.
So she decided to have a child with an ain't shit dude who didn't want to act right. She laid in bed with him, she opened her legs for him, she let him bust up in her, she carried the child. He didn't want to act right. Now she's a single mom.
This is insane. This woman is a single mother, yet she says she won't date a guy with kids. Her reasoning is simply because she absolutely believes that the guy must have done something wrong, convincing herself that the other woman would never have wanted to break up a home otherwise. Not only is this a massive double standard, but it is also a dangerous exercise in psychological projection. By automatically assuming the man is the villain in every broken relationship, she completely absolves the other mother of any accountability, while entirely ignoring the complex, nuanced reasons why relationships actually end.
It's always the woman's
It
fault.
reveals a deep-seated bias, where she blindly extends grace to women she doesn't even know, while viewing potential male
They get no
partners through a lens
grace.
of automatic suspicion. Furthermore, this mindset exposes a massive blind spot regarding her own situation. If she applies this logic universally, she is inadvertently suggesting that society should view her with the same harsh judgment and skepticism regarding her own past relationship.
You know, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life because don't have me up the ass each other. Just don't do it. No, but like, I know they're just in line for the pump behind me. But like, don't look me in the face and smile at me. Because I'm hopeless. I'm maybe hopeless because the guy was actually cute. And I'm just like, look away immediately. Like, I don't know how to deal. Especially when I find them here and I'm like, ah! In the span of 24 hours, I had one man tell me that nobody will date a girl with a kid. And then I went to another guy.
Not for me.
The person said that. And then he told me, no, that's not true. But a man doesn't want to date a girl who has slept with a lot of guys.
Again, not for me.
As far as like dating or anything like that goes, like someone into my kid's life, absolutely not. Again, with the whole every other weekend thing, I think like that's my time, that's my life. I don't need someone to come in here and play stepdaddy to my kid. I take care of my kids on my own. I don't need someone to come in and play house with me. That's not what I want to do with my dating life.
What many of these single mothers misunderstand is that at a certain point in the relationship, they will naturally start expecting the man to start acting like a father, even if she initially says, I don't need a man to start playing stepdaddy. That is exactly what's going to be expected as the relationship progresses. Human emotions and household dynamics don't stay compartmentalized forever. As emotional intimacy deepens and time investment grows, the boundaries blur between being just a partner to the mother and becoming a figure of authority, support, or influence in the child's life. She says, I don't need someone to come and play house, but that's exactly what will be expected later on. She is
I said in the first video, she's talking about like temporary dudes. So she has like a temporary filter on. So she's thinking about, just have fun with these dudes. It's not like gonna be a longevity type of thing. That's why she thought like that.
only saying that now because she is trying to protect herself and her children from potential disappointment. In the early stages of dating, a single mother often carries the weight of past breakups. And
like she can't even fathom. She doesn't even see it like going like a long distance. It's like, oh, just chads and temporary things.
Fear of bringing the wrong person around her kids. By setting the bar low and claiming she doesn't want a ready-made family dynamic, she reduces the pressure on the man and guards her own heart against the vulnerability of relying on someone else.
Dating as a single mom in your 30s is a war zone because I flirt, you flirt back, and then as the natural progression happens, I catch feelings and I let you know about that. And then you hit me with a, oh, I can't be intentional with you, or I'm not looking for anything serious. What the fuck do you mean? Are you flirting with everyone out here? I grew up listening to Never Stop Never and Hello Goodbye. You can't do this to me.
If men started saying, I don't date single moms, the way that women say, I don't date broke men, would that be seen as preference or prejudice?
It will be seen as prejudice by some women, I imagine, but preference by men. But the answer is, it's preference.
I feel like just because a woman has a baby, that doesn't mean it's the end for them. Like, if it didn't work out with their baby, they still have a chance to find their person. I like love when men take on women with babies. Like, I'm like, that's amazing.
I think it would be seen as prejudice, although I think it's fair. I think if you don't want to date someone who has a baby, whether you're a woman or a man, I think that should be your choice, and I think it's completely fair.
Why is it not seen as prejudice when women don't want to date broke men?
Because you don't want anyone to be leeching off of you. I think men and women should be completely equal as far as like how much they work and bring to the table, but the truth is like women do carry children, and if they have to be out of work for a while, then the men should be able to make up for that. So I would not date someone who's working.
It is absolutely a preference. Women say they don't date broke men all the time, and all you hear is, go girl, get what you deserve. But when men say they don't date single mothers, it is immediately seen as a personal attack, or people claim that men are just hating on single mothers. This blatant double standard highlights a frustrating hypocrisy in modern dating culture, where women are encouraged to have rigid standards regarding a man's finances, lifestyle, and future, while men are vilified for having standards regarding a woman's existing obligations and family dynamics. So it's not prejudice at all for men to say they prefer not to date single mothers. It is a fundamental choice about lifestyle and future goals. Prejudice implies a deeply rooted hatred or a belief that someone is inherently inferior, whereas a dating preference is simply a recognition of what an individual can handle emotionally, financially, and logistically.
Impact.
I just seen this post that said that like men don't want single moms. Respectfully, when I was fucking
We
9
don't.
months pregnant, I had men in my DMs and they knew I was pregnant. Also, if there was
That's like a weird It's like a weird thing. That might be the word. They got me cut off the first.
The time. Okay, bitch. Ever. Never in a million years would I ever think about introducing a man to my daughter. Men don't want single mothers. Women don't want you, sir, so I think it's we can get.
My fellow single moms, are we actually dating, or are we just going to continue to avoid it? Because me personally, it's been 2 years and I have not even dipped my feet into the water. And it's not even that I don't want love, but it's like, to this day, your girl's traumatized. And then I think back to like before I had my son and talking to my friends that don't have kids, dating our generation is horrible as is. And now I have to worry about not just me, but also my child. Like, do you want to go on a date? Where's your background check? Where's your fingerprints? I need a list of references. And even if I have all that, not really.
Well, let me tell you one thing about dating a single mom. Dating a single mom, for me at least, my time is limited. So if I put you into like my time that I have, my free time, that is like so special to me. And I think when we date single moms, a lot of times we're like, oh, like I don't know, I feel like there's just such a bad like.
I don't got time for a woman that don't got time for me. Like, she working too much. You work every day. You ain't got but like an hour of time for me, like a week. It's like, no, I'm good.
Teacher, nice. Mom, but like I'm telling you, because my time is so valuable to me that like when I do get time with you, I'm gonna do everything I can to like make it special. And if I'm investing into you while raising children, like I'm really invested, because it is hard raising children as a single mom, managing work and doing all those things. So like when I'm into somebody and that takes a lot, like I am fully in. Like I am giving you my everything because it's so valuable to me. So I think a lot of times like single moms get like this like weird, like I don't know, like I feel like kind of shamed, and it's like no, as a single mom dating, like I'm gonna give everything to a man that I truly want to be with.
I do agree with her on that point. Dating a single mother means time is very limited, which is why a lot of guys don't tend to pursue single mothers often. Not only does the constraint on her schedule make it incredibly difficult to build spontaneous romance, but it also fundamentally alters the pacing of the relationship. A single mother's primary obligation is, and always should be, her children. This means dates have to be meticulously planned around babysitters, school schedules, and bedtime routines, leaving very little room for the carefree, late-night conversations or impromptu weekend getaways that typically help a new couple bond in the early stages. Furthermore, this extreme time scarcity means a man has to accept that he will consistently be the secondary priority. When a child gets sick, has a school event, or simply needs emotional support, the relationship gets put on the back burner immediately and indefinitely.
I just think men should raise that shit. I'm sorry to believe as a parent of a little boy that they all start all that shit and they have to be raised out of it.
Really? It sounds like someone has not done a very good job as a parent thus far, especially if they're talking like that about their own child.
My 6-year-old son, oh my god, he's been on the leave and I really hard to watch that. Fine, whatever.
Okay, does anyone see the problem yet?
I looked at him and I said, what is going on? What's the problem? This boy leans back and goes, I'm just as sad the great auntie died. That's my grandma. He kicked his sister in the face and then blamed it on being sad that my grandma died 2 months ago.
Oh dear. There really does seem to be quite a large problem with a lot of women out there that seem to lack the ability to take any form of accountability for any of their actual responsibilities. Because ultimately, whose fault really was that reactions? Was it the little boy, or was it the parent who had the responsibility of teaching their child how to express their emotions in an acceptable manner? Let's really think about that one for a moment.
I just want to say that the reason why single moms need to have high standards now, why I say that women need to have high standards even after kids, is because now you are the example to your kids. You're a man and you're watching this. I'm sorry your mama didn't do that when you were younger. You might need to seek some therapy. The reason why I say single moms need to have higher standards now is because your kids are watching, and you eventually do not want to raise a man like the ones that have been trolling on my videos. Because that really does hurt my feelings. I've seen a lot of single mothers making the same mistake over and over and over again, meaning that they are not focused on themselves. They are not giving themselves the attention that they need. They're not showing some love to themselves. They're constantly looking for love in a partner, and just to end up disappointed all over again. I have seen it many times where single moms in their 30s are struggling and having their kids watch them cry over and over and over and over again because they continue to meet the same man in a different face.
This woman is saying that single mothers need to raise their standards now to be an example for their kids. While that's a great idea in theory, the thing is, why should they get rewarded at the expense of a man just because they now realize they want better for themselves? It is entirely commendable for a woman to want to model self-worth and healthy boundaries for her children, but raising her standards after having children doesn't automatically erase the reality of her current situation. A man entering her life shouldn't be expected to pay the emotional, financial, and logistical price for lessons she learned from previous relationships. He's a partner seeking a mutual connection, not a prize or reward meant to validate her personal growth and redemption arc. One last thing, these single mothers who keep ending up in these situations where they are dating the same types of men are ending up there because they are continuously choosing familiarity over compatibility. They often end up trapped in this cycle because they are prioritizing short-term chemistry and validation over long-term stability and character.
Every time a man gets online to disrespect single moms, like that's your purpose when you got online this morning, probably a man with a teeny weeny pee. And on top of that, I might guess that you're the type of man who would also abandon your child, because let's think about it. What's worse, a woman accidentally choosing the wrong father for her child and still choosing to raise her child, or a father who decides to have a man who decides to have nothing to do with his kid whatsoever? You do the math, you dumb mother.
Most people would agree that a man who decides to have nothing to do with his kid is a horrible man. There is absolutely no doubt there. At the same time, it is these women who are choosing these horrible men to procreate with in the first place, while a deadbeat father deserves 100% of the blame for abandoning his parental responsibilities. The conversation cannot completely ignore the critical element of partner selection and accountability. A person's character rarely changes overnight. In many cases, the red flags of irresponsibility, selfishness, and emotional immaturity were present long before a child was ever conceived, yet they were overlooked, excused, or ignored in favor of chemistry, convenience, or the naive hope that a baby would somehow change his nature. Furthermore, ignoring a woman's role in choosing a partner creates a culture where women are viewed as passive victims of circumstance rather than active participants in their own lives. Empowering women means holding them accountable for the judgment they use when choosing who gets access to their bodies and who gets to become the biological father of their children.
I was just about to cut it off after that take and be like, we watched the whole video in the first one, but hey, we got through with some time to spare.
I I want a man who understands me, who understands my journey, who understands my pain, my hurt, my frustration, my grind, my emotions. And I want a man who listens.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we are taking a look at what happens when men just ditch the friend zone altogether. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's just jump right into the video.
How long did you say you guys have been friends?
10 years.
Wait, what? In that time period, have you never had feelings for each other?
No, like, it's been just like such a great friend.
Oh, really?
So, like, I couldn't, like, see the other side.
True,
of it.
and
If that makes sense.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Could you ever see her being your wife one day? I mean, it's possible.
10 years is an awful lot of time to waste in the friend zone, and she is clearly not worth the trouble.
Continuánate. Impact.
I mean, it's possible. So you wouldn't rule that out? I wouldn't
We never
completely.
thought about it.
Bro, what are you talking about, man? I've never 100% thought about it. I mean, it's possible. But so, how come it's a possibility in your mind, but for you, you're like, I would just never look at him that way?
She's not attracted to him, but still has no problem using him for emotional and financial support.
So, I wouldn't say never,
Not the
but
cat.
we've been such good friends, I don't want to ruin the friendship.
For shame. How could you ruin a friendship by getting closer?
Some people, you know, like, when
And make sure they
people
cut
get
out
into relationships, they're not meant to be in a relationship, they were always meant to be friends.
the first video. Cut out.
Like,
This is
if
take
you
two.
just feel like you're meant to be friends, you're meant to be friends. Trying to force a relationship on top of that, I don't know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Could it be that when you're looking for a man, he just doesn't fit that box?
No, I wouldn't say that, because he fits all the boxes.
Then why not move the relationship further?
I never thought about it, honestly.
She's publicly humiliating this man just to remind him that they will never get together romantically.
We've been on dates for a whole year. You know my mom. You didn't even text her all the fucking time. We've had 5 pregnancy scares. You say we're still just friends?
Yes.
Women have complete and utter meltdowns when they get put in the friend zone. You know, that place where women park men so they can string them along and get all the benefits out of a relationship without actually being in one. Or where they put the guy that has a lot of the things they're looking for, but just not quite enough of them. So we'll set him aside for now while we keep looking for something better.
It seems like modern women can't stand being put in the friend zone, but they expect men to just be totally cool with it.
And what's getting interesting is that men have now decided to create their own friend zones, the place where they're going to do the very same things to women that women have done to them. And it's creating the dynamic that we're seeing in her video, where they find this guy that is perfect for them, the guy they want, the guy that is the man of their dreams, only to find out that he's going to friend zone her because she might not quite live up to the expectations he
Men friend zoning women was the ultimate Uno reverse card, and the women just can't stand it.
has. But he'll string her along and take advantage of it by keeping her as a friend, while he in turn keeps looking for that perfect woman. Karma is a fickle bitch, and men are tired of the games that women have played for decades now, and are starting to play the games in reverse on them. And as this poor young lady found out, it doesn't feel good when it happens to you. Maybe, just maybe, women will see videos like that and take a lesson from them. Maybe, just maybe, they'll start treating men a little bit better. But then again, maybe, just maybe, I'll win $1 billion in the lottery tonight. Because the chances of either of those things happening are pretty much the same.
The problem is, when women put men in the friend zone, it's always totally different, apparently. This is why it's a complete waste of time for men just altogether.
You're crazy, friend.
That's all I need to know. Thank you.
No, Jack. Please, let me go.
How you doing,
No, but we can be friends. You don't want to be my friend.
No, we don't want to be your friend.
You know, 40 years old. I ain't got time for people.
40 years old.
This
We
woman
ain't got
doesn't
time
actually
for
want to make friends.
friends.
She just wants a simp who will serve her, and there's a massive difference there.
How do you know if you friend zone women?
The response.
Is that it? Was that the video?
This is what it boils
The
down to.
word
If
that got
you
me
are trying to
banned?
contact a woman and you're getting delayed response
I
and
got the video
she's
cut
she's not
last.
interested. It's really that simple. When a woman likes you, she will cancel plans. She cancels plans. She responds immediately. She becomes available. When she doesn't really like you that much, she's unavailable. It's really that simple. And I always think people can friend zone themselves. Well, then, but how you friend zone yourself is by not making attention to it. There are men that I'm friends with, but are still not in my friend zone because they'll always make a flirty comment. They always remind me that they're interested in something. And I'm trying to put you in a friend zone and you keep coming out with.
A woman might make it clear a dude is in the friend zone, but it's also his choice to stay there, and my advice to men is to just leave.
What benefits do you get from having him as a friend?
So the benefits that I get is like he can tell me like what guys are into me, what guys aren't.
What benefits does he get from having you as a friend?
Alright, it's you.
Different perspectives. We friends different. We work together. We like the same things. Why can't we be friends? Doesn't matter who you are, what you are.
If somebody tries to run you right now, are you expected to transfer it?
I feel like because he's my friend 100%.
The friend zone is one-sided. She'll expect him to defend her in a mugging, and he gets absolutely nothing.
If he's going to risk his life for you, what do you think would be an equal benefit for him having you as a friend?
I don't even know how to answer the question right now because
Some
like,
octopus.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
So I'll leave it at that. I do for you, I'll be friends with me. Based on the person who it is. I don't get any benefit with being friends with her. I'll be friends with you.
Right.
She doesn't know how to answer because she doesn't intend on giving that guy a single damn thing.
Yeah. Would you like me last year? I keep reading.
Like, to me, you punch to an L. That's it, no.
That's it. That's all. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is
That's it. That's all. Get out.
What would be your friends for?
That guy knew that being in the friend zone was completely pointless. That is why he refused to go there.
But like, I mean, I'd be friends with, okay, why would I be friends with a woman?
No, I agree
I'm
with
actually friends with a guy who offers way more utility than a female would.
No, I agree with
And platonically, of course. I'm saying like platonically, because here's the thing. If I'm friends with a woman, she's gonna expect me to give her boyfriend energy, be polite to her, be a shoulder to cry on. I'm gonna be looked at to protect her in times of peril. Like, I'm gonna still be held to a certain standard as a male friend. Versus, why would I? And I'm not getting sex, so I'm giving up all the things that she wants, right? Kind of camaraderie, that companionship without getting sex back.
And to make it worse, if you have a problem, that's when she's conveniently too busy to listen.
In return, any guy that would be willing to be friends with a woman is an idiot. It's like the woman or girl just having sex with a guy without getting any type of relation energy. Would you be okay with constantly just getting called at 2 o'clock in the morning only for sex and kicks you out after? No. Women wouldn't have a problem with that for a period of time. They'll do it for a bit, but then they'll eventually be like, I don't want to use it anymore. The problem is that we totally tell men to just let women use them.
Men are done being usable commodities to modern women. It's just a waste of time and money.
Another dark secret when it comes to modern dating and women in general, how modern women date, is what they'll do is they'll have men in certain categories. They'll compartmentalize men. So one guy be saved their phone as Uber, another guy be saved as pizza, another guy be saved as sex, another guy be saved as simp, another guy be saved as sugar daddy. And you know, this is a very dark reality that a lot of guys don't understand. But we've gotten to a point now, thanks to social media and dating apps, etc., where women are able to basically have men in these certain roles where they can benefit them.
Those types of women don't even see these so-called
Is it him?
as people.
Is he who got my video
And what
cut?
I'm saying is, I don't want you being saved as Hoover. That's my thing when I talk to guys.
And so, at that point, why is the lesson not how to have self-respect as a man instead of, like, attacking women?
Well, here's the thing. In order for you to have self-respect, you must give them less.
That's not how self-respect works, though.
No.
You can value yourself, but without tearing someone else down.
Well, you're not tearing her down. You're just mitigating risk and not giving her everything up front. You're making her earn it. See, I find it interesting that women will sit there and have these super high standards, right? And when you make them work for your validation and your attention, that's looked at as misogynistic. But when women do it, it's looked at as having high standards. You notice that? Double standard?
Staying in the friend zone tears you down, and it's for a woman who doesn't even give a damn. Completely pointless.
Aaron, I messed up.
Look, Jordan, I'm trying my hardest not to say anything disrespectful to you.
Alright, I didn't make it this far in the first video. I cut the video off.
You're not letting me because it's too late, though.
By this point.
The one time I need you, the one time. Where are you at? Right. But if you need something, expect me to drop everything and be there. No questions asked. Because that's not this relationship.
She thinks her wants should be his priority, and his needs don't even register with her at all.
Shit works. You need some advice about something? I give it to you. You need some support during a crisis? You got it. You need somebody to kiss you the other way? I'm your man, right? Right? You said it yourself. I'm always there.
I know. And I'm sorry.
Don't be. Please don't be. I'm actually not even mad at you. I'm mad at myself. To think of you.
It's just better to walk away from the friend zone entirely. It's honestly the best thing you can do for yourself.
I'm quite literally mulling around in horse shit. Trying to get.
Impact.
This bottom thing off my car. No, I'm not. I'm gonna cry. I'm trying to get this off, and I need to screw everything out. And I just wish someone would come over and help me because I don't know what to do. Someone just pulled over to win.
All that guy got was a thank you and reinforcing the idea that men are obligated to help her.
Thank you so much.
Definitely driving past her.
Reaction is how most independent women would react. And I know I might get a lot of hate for saying it, but this proves men's points when they roll their eyes at women that say, I don't need no man. Because sure, when things are going well for you and you're not running into any issues, you're not stranded on the side of the road with your car falling apart, of course you can be a little overconfident in what you're capable of handling. But don't forget that one, the reason why your life is pretty easy is because of men. And two, the second your life becomes not so easy, guess who you're going to be hoping and praying is headed your way.
Most women will never actually admit that. They're convinced that they are right about absolutely everything.
I'm losing my mind. This fucking thing. Okay, I've been trying for an hour to take this fucking thing off of this drill bit. Okay, it's metal. I don't have to fucking get off. I'm trying to build a pergola. Okay, I've gotten this far. Alright. I had the Allen wrench drill bit, and now I need the screwdriver drill bit. And I can see I can go get my regular screwdriver. This is the screw they gave me. I don't know how to take this off. Why? What are we women proving our fucking tools now?
There's no such thing as women-proofing tools. She's just overconfident and incompetent.
What? There's happy you guys are talking about that. I fucking can't.
I don't know. She probably broke something.
I've tried hammers, I've tried other drill bits, I've tried fucking wrenches. I'm losing. How does this work? Let me help you take this fucking thing off. It's metal. Okay. I'm losing it.
It's so strange how she goes online to complain about her problems instead of actually trying to solve them, but honestly, I shouldn't be surprised at this point, should I?
I just need a man in my life that just wants to be a man in my life. Just a man. Not my man. No benefits, no sugar, no nothing. You just want to be a man in my life. For what? So I can call you when I need air my tires, which I've been needing for weeks. Weeks. So I can call you when I need my car cleaned. My door's creaking, so I can call you. Can you fix that for me, please? Can you bring this heavy ass cat up?
She doesn't
Sound
actually
like
want a man.
we were
She wants a
serving.
servant who will be willing to work for her for free.
Upstairs, please. A man I can depend on without you wanting to be my man. Because quite frankly, I'm good off y'all. But men are great. Love men. It's a lot that a man can bring to a woman's life. Besides just providing. I don't even want no sugar. But if you want to give me sugar, maybe I'll take it. I'm literally just talking about a dependable man in my life that I can call when a girlie is in need. Tires just getting lower and lower and lower. And I'll be like, so you want me to go to the gas station and get change and put it in the ATM and just run down by my tire?
Yeah.
I'm too bad for that. So if you want to be a man in my life,
She's
big of masculinity, please.
Adults have been putting air in their own tires for a very long time. It is really not that damn difficult.
I want a man who understands me, who understands my journey, who understands my pain, my hurt, my frustration, my grind, my emotions. I want a man who listens, I want a man who sees, I want a man who understands me as a woman, who understands my help without the cry, I want a man who understands my plea without the plea.
I want this and I want that, but at no point is she giving us any reason why men should care at all.
I want a man who understands my need for defense mechanism. I want a man who says, I got you no matter what. I want a man who says, I'll protect you no matter what. I want a man who says, regardless of what you've been through, regardless of what you're chasing, I'm gonna have your back 110%. I want a man who's willing to be my man through every aspect of me, my life, my journey. I want a man who's God-fearing, a man who's placed here because of God, to show me things I've never seen before, to help lead me in ways that I didn't think was possible. I want a man to be a man meant for me.
The sad part is how she thinks all of these impossible things are somehow fair and reasonable, by the way.
Paid $100 for a dating event that no men show up to. What that shows is that men are no longer desperate for women, guys. And predictably, women are losing their freaking minds. For years, the dating market worked like this. Men chase and women chose. Now, a lot of men are doing something different. They're going to the gym, backing their money, investing in their hobbies, and enjoying their peace. Less chasing, more traveling. And suddenly, the endless supply of attention that women used to enjoy isn't what it used to be. No more constant validation, no more endless simping, no more desperate texting. And the funny thing is that some women can't understand it. Why aren't men trying anymore? They ask while they cry in their cars on TikTok under the handle single and dating over 40. I'll tell you why. Because many men have finally realized that their peace is better than chasing women who don't respect them, their time, or their presence. It's really that simple. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to get daily dating wisdom just like this.
Modern women really aren't worth the time or effort most of the time. Their terrible attitudes make that abundantly clear at this point.
James, there's no such thing as a woman putting you in the friend zone. The friend zone is a place that men place themselves by choosing to stay around women that aren't interested. That's how you get used. If the interest is not reciprocated, cut her off. And for you people that like to argue, friend zone and friendship is not the same thing. Friendships are mutually beneficial. Being forced into playing the role of big brother because she doesn't like you like that.
A woman will keep a man in the friend zone by treating him like an object, not an actual human being.
All while still paying to take her on quote-unquote friendship dates, sponsoring outings, paying bills, buying gifts, and being used as an emotional dumping ground while getting none of these actions returned doesn't sound like much of a friendship to me. And her taking it, knowing how you feel, and knowing she doesn't feel the same way is even nastier. One's a simp, the other's an opportunist, both playing dirty games. But I digress.
All right, that's the time for that. So it was about a good 2-3 minutes of that video that I didn't watch.
Oh, you're my everything. But I've been called propaganda. I've been called a Mossad agent, and I've been called a CIA plant.
She's never been told I love you guys. Tragic story over here. You know what she has done though? Rack up a body count of double digits. My right, fellas, of course she has. But welcome back to the channel, guys. Ampu, where are you? Oh, come right here, good boy. Because we're gonna watch some women, guys. Hey, sorry for the deep voice also. Not trying to seduce you, just woke up recently. And I thought, how do I start my day? It is sunny, Sunday at time recording. And I just got my coffee, guys, and I'm here on some women. Hell yeah, am I right? Alright, let's move on to this other one, guys. 45 to 50% of men nowadays turn out, don't want to date. And this woman is a bit shell-shocked about it. So let's check it out, guys. Please like and subscribe. And let's dive into the video.
45 to 50% of men nowadays, like ages 18 to 25, are scared to approach women. Mainly, them reporting that they're worried they're going to come off as creepy, like women are going to find them creepy. Which is why, obviously, we have more of like the shift to cuffed or hinge, because I think on both sides, people feel like you can maybe get to know a person a little bit better than like maybe having some sort of awkward interaction in person. I think it's good that we have options, right? Like people can do the dating app, or maybe if you're a little bit more confident to approach someone, like you can do that in person. But it is kind of crazy that almost like half men out there just don't want to do it. It's wild. 45 to 50%.
Yeah, guys, it's wild indeed. Let me see if I can open the comments. Yeah, I can open them from here. Because they're
All right, so you approach a woman, and the woman that's down is ran through. Like, she said yes to you, she says yes to everybody. So she's going for it, high body count. You approach a woman, she says no, she has a 0 body count, and then she's not going for nobody. So, you know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna let you, she ain't gonna let nobody. So, it's lose-lose.
Right, so I'll read some of them. So apparently we're scared, alright? That's the narrative that we keep hearing, guys. Which is very scary. Personally, guys, I'm trembling right now. Hey, I'm trembling, guys, in my boots. I don't know about you. But let's read the comments. High risk, low reward. It's true. It's so true. Like, women, guys, want us to be part of this race. But the price of the race is just not good to begin with. Like, let alone training, competing, well, it's just, dude, the price is not good. Alright? To begin with. I remember, guys, I'm going to tell you a story about my life. I'm going to open up. But I went, when I was younger, to this place where you had to do work. It was like voluntary war, you know, to help out a village. So we went there. So we weren't expecting any sort of prize, right? You go there just to work, help people out, you're not expecting anything. But we had a few people taking care of us, you know, because we were children at the time. And they wanted to make a cake, alright? At the end of like the whole thing, they wanted to make a cake. And there were 2 women, they were like cooking. And one woman said, well, let's make like, you know, traditional cake, chocolate, all that. It's just a cake. And the other one, guys, was like, no, let's make a vegan, like a gluten-free, whatever bullshit cake that doesn't contain sugar. And they were like having an argument over it. Jeez. But the vegan cake won, guys. I mean, it wasn't even vegan. I say vegan, it was like yogurt with like some biscuits that weren't even tasty. I don't know, man. It's just instead of having a chocolate delicious cake with like fruits or whatever you may add, we had yogurt with some biscuits that weren't even sweet. I don't know, just disappointment, you know.
Impact. Delicious. Drink it all. Impact. Which creator you liking the most? Let me know in the comments.
Why do I tell you all of this? I still remember the disappointment because like over a decade ago it was, you know, we weren't expecting anything. They told us there's cake and we thought there's real cake, but no, it was just some yogurt. So in the same way, guys, I'm trying to convey these women, even if you don't expect anything, you still get disappointed. You know what I say? And the price is not even worth it. Like nobody ate from that cake. I think one person tried it out of like feeling guilty, and he didn't like it. So you know, it's just when we don't expect anything and we still get disappointed when the prize is not even worth winning the prize. That's my whole problem. But anyway, guys, long ass story. Who cares? Another one says not scared. It's just not worth it anymore. Sadly. So again, going back to the reward. 28, and I've never approached. Yo, guys, it's just a phone. Leave the phone for a week and watch your life go back to its prime. And here we have, guys, Giuseppe Bianchi. Yeah, I'm one of them, 21, and I've never approached a woman. My longest relationship was like 6 months ago. I'm way too nervous to ask a woman out in public. Whoa, okay, so boy, 35 likes by the way. So there are some people in this boat, not too many. Thank God. How can you be scared to talk to women? Are you gay?
90s ninjas is the last ninjas
that
was
approaching
women.
to your body. Like, how do you become so effeminate? The people afraid of talking to women, guys. Your ancestors used to beat up women for breakfast, and now you're scared to talk to them? Embarrassing, guys. Who is afraid to talk to women? My lord. Let's read the final one, guys. Yeah, tired of putting myself out there only to be treated like crap, and then have to put myself together just to be able to keep myself emotionally afloat to get through my workday. Not worth the emotional erosion and destroying my confidence. Yep, there you go, bitches. Like, fuck off. No, nobody wants to pursue you. Men are opting out. Yes, we are. It's not worth it. The reward is not worth it. The effort is not worth it. Showing up is not worth it. Even if you get the woman, it's not worth it. Forget about all it, dude. We're not doing that anymore. But But anyway, guys, let's move on to our last video segment. This one is from Instagram. And this topic, guys, is important because recently we talked about the 62 million, right, guys? The 62 million men who were on some shady activities that later turned out to be 1,000, not 62 million. But anyway, I found this video recently. Argentinian man arrested after casting videos leaked. Take a look at this news, guys.
So this guy has been going viral for a bunch of videos that got leaked, where he was basically paying women $200 to feature in these casting couch videos, and basically telling them that the videos will only be available in Europe. And a lot of these women had husbands, partners, etc. And a bunch of women are in comment sections talking about him and exposing him right now. And this is one of the videos too. And this woman was deplorable. Like, she was with her boyfriend and went and filmed the video on the same day. See her too, man. And her too, bro. They had families, bro, kids and everything. And I'm not too surprised. A lot of guys.
Take a look at all these women cheating, guys. A lot of them also, like, same day of being with their boyfriend. I can assure you guys, they probably told him, "I love you. You love my life." And then went on for $200, just did everything. Like, everything for $200, right? So yeah, that women
they go in for 200.
Literally impossible. Never seen a woman like that, to be honest, guys. But I have to be honest, alright. If you get me drunk, guys, and I'm at the top tier honesty, I'll just be like, bruv, I've never seen a woman conditionally love, right? Anyway, let's continue.
Have this mindset that's only a specific type of woman that's going. They're all going. It actually seems like the ones that are married and with boyfriends are the easiest ones to hit. And do you remember this guy? This only happened about a year ago, where he was going around doing stuff in the. He was a guy working for the government. He was, doing it with a bunch of guys' wives as well. And those videos leaked. The Russian guy who went to Africa and was recently doing it, and they had partners. Well, it's not about it being this type of women, that type of women. They're all going. Get it through your head, young men. Get it through your head. And I find it funny because in high school I never got into a relationship. I wouldn't tell people you never been into a relationship. Like, wow. But the reason is because early on I would see people get together, put each other's ring with their initial in their bio, and then 2 months later break up. Those 2 people with new people, and then it's like they're doing Christmas aesthetics, and I'm like, what? It's like an aesthetic to date, bro. No one's actually dating because they actually love anybody out here, bro. They're dating just because it's a thing to do, bro. Like that stuff is silly, bro. Focus on your grind, focus on yourself. Trying to look for a relationship out here, like, what are you doing, bro? Focus on yourself, bro. They're not worried about you, bro. Dating is an aesthetic. A boyfriend is an aesthetic to them, bro. So this guy's going viral.
Very much agree, guys. People, I very much relate to that. Like, people are dating because it's like the thing to do. Like, people are socially pressured into dating, guys. Honestly, it's just because everybody else does it. Is it worth it? No. But that's what people are doing, right? And yeah, well, why isn't this making the news, guys? Why don't you have all the feminists concerned, whenever like a group chat of some horny middle schoolers gets leaked where they're talking about fucking women, it's like big news. Oh, the patriarchy. Oh no, the shadows of the patriarchy still behind us, following us, blah blah blah. This whole victimization campaign. I mean, take a look at all the women, guys, that this man has teacher. Was that 1, 2, 3, 6 times? Are there 11 here? Yeah, 11 times 6. So there's 67 women here, including this one. At least 67 women, guys, that have done this stuff for $200, literally prostituting themselves. A lot of them married, right? And this is only one guy. There's other stories, of course. Women cheating all the time. It's not only cheating; it's also for money. It's like, man. But of course, guys, something like this will never make the news. Interesting also to see how men. I'm not saying all women, right? In the same way that men are blamed, right? You find like a bunch of men.
And then they didn't even bring $100 back to their husbands.
And women immediately, all men are rapists. No, we're not out here saying that it's all women, but it's a considerable amount. Because think of it this way, guys. Now, maybe your girlfriend won't do it for $200, but your girlfriend will probably still dump your ass if she just feels bored, right? I mean, say it doesn't always end in cheating, but the evidence for how often men are getting backstabbed, whether that be through cheating or not, is just astronomical, guys. And, we go back to this point that this person mentioned. Is dating really worth it? Like, do these women care about you? Will these women stick out for you?
No, they
or
don't.
stick out for you? Will these women fight for you, guys? Or will they flee the moment things get a bit hard? But, guys, we'll leave video segment right there. Let's go to our article stories.
Alright, and this is about where I went to check the video and it was cut off. So, first video was better. I had a couple more takes, I guess. A couple more points.
My 22 female boyfriend, 24 male, is fetishizing my nationality and I'm not sure what to feel. So I'm a Latina, so good. And he is Mediterranean. We met a while ago and we hit it off instantly.
I fetish the Asians.
We have an awesome chemistry and
Fetishize
beautiful
the
connection.
Asians.
He's so nice and gentle, very caring, and such a sweetheart. He's so supportive, and to be honest, I couldn't imagine a future without him. But recently, he wants me to wear a tribal outfit. Poof, what a good taste. Use
Impact. As soon as the story started getting good, oh, he wants you to wear what now? Oh, okay. That red dress with the heels? Oh.
Use red face paint and put on an accent while he acts like a colonizer. We've all been there. Right, we've all been there. Papi, don't colonize me, please. Right? And it's very,
That man
and
is
it
sick.
Latino American.
You are sick, man.
So she's Latina, she doesn't know the English language. He keeps insisting me on it, but I'd never do anything like that. Whatever. For me, it's a pride thing.
He got a sick little something in the back of his, you know what I'm saying?
We tried it for like 5 minutes and he said things like, what's your tribe's name? And your cheeks
you gotta put those type of people on a list.
Until I told him to stop and everything. I can't do this. Man, this is so good. There are no comments yet because this was posted 3 minutes ago, guys. So at the time of reading it, this young, sexy, 22-year-old, big booty Latina guy is still worrying about this. I don't think there's anything wrong about fetishizing nationality, right? I mean, women fetishize height, women fetishize jawlines and whatever, women fetishize you raping them, so why would it be bad to fetishize nationality, right? I mean, especially the Latinas, guys, are such a low fruit. It's like, come on, man. You're a Latina, my papi, mommy, and you've been colonized, right? It's a fact. Women like great, men like this whole thing of, you know, poor little innocent girl that is either in need of help or about to need help, right? So I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, look, if you don't subscribe to it, that's fine. You currently possess rights, unlike when you were colonized. So you're free to not want that. But I should mention, if I'm your boyfriend, that's probably a deal breaker, right? If I'm your boyfriend and you don't want to do the whole Ladina thing, I'm sorry. It'll be reconcilable differences. Am I right, fellas? Like, come on. Just put on
That's probably something you just gotta go pay for.
Those clothes that barely hide your body, and you know, and tell me where the truth is. All right. But along those lines, guys, have you watched Apocalypto by Mel Gibson? Delicious movie, guys. Delicious. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Top 3 movies in my personal tier list. Astronomically good. All right. And I have a fetish for the Aztecs and the Mayans. They're my favorite culture outside of my own, the Egyptian one of it. But yeah, very, very good, guys. Highly recommend that movie. But alright, let's read one more, guys. As a woman, I want to give you advice. Make first move. Very convenient, guys. Women. Here's my advice.
Always make the first move, woman.
Just so convenient. Hey, guys. This is like a piranha telling you, here's my advice. If you have a wound, go into the river. That will heal it. It's like, whoa, really? How convenient. I was always waiting for guys to hit on me, and guess what? They kept hitting on the other girls when we were together. I thought it's me, but it was just them being players. One day, I decided to say hi to this guy that looked really cute. I thought he was mysterious, and turns out he's really great. And by the way, he's not shy around me at all. In fact, he's pretty wild, but he just doesn't go picking up every chick he sees like others I've been with. Wait. Oh, I got it wrong. So she's advising women to make the first move. Well, that sort of defeats my whole initial joke. Edit that part out. I can't be caught making a mistake. But let's read some of the comments.
I kind of think it was on. He missed something.
Making the first move won't solve all your problems, but it's always better to have more control over your life than less. I took a chance to kiss my partner on the cheek first, and then it led to a kiss on the lips. I'm glad I did. Yeah, honestly, guys, something you may be shocked to find out, but women have it extremely easy. Like, women will absolutely stop chasing after the chads to suck their wieners and just ask out themselves some shy, good-hearted men, and voila, it's just so easy, guys. I fucking swear. Men have extremely low rates of success when hitting up women. For women, it's the opposite. They have extremely high rates because women are attracted to women, and so when an attractive woman shows up and asks you out, it's like almost nobody will say no. Like, literally almost nobody will say no. It's just so easy for them. You know, so we go back to this point of women having so much power, guys, that they can use it whatever way they want. They don't need it to hit on men. They'll probably find, you know, dating options regardless. But if you want to have it even easier, fucking easier than the tutorial, you can, as a woman, just go and ask the guy you like out, and it's probably like 90% is going to happen, right, if he's not already taken. So yeah, just so easy, guys. How women have it so easy. Like, their gameplay, guys, is so boring. It's like you have the game hacked, you know, you have all the cheat codes, you have all the resources, you have everything maxed out, you just walk around. You know, what a boring gameplay, honestly. But anyway, fellas, we're going to leave it here. Thank you for watching, and I'll be happy to see you next time, guys. Have a good one.
We finished the video. Alright, hot takes. I don't remember none of the videos. I know there was, single moms in the beginning?
You know, you end up going to Italy, or you end up going to some tropical island or something. You go there for 2 weeks, you come back and you think you're a freaking spiritual guru. I mean, you think you've gained a whole bunch of knowledge, and all you did was get drunk and pass out on a beach. You buy those stupid eat, pray, love wall decorations to hammer onto your freaking wall. You end up becoming the most annoying person in the friend group, and nobody wants to talk to you. And I would say the same thing for Pokemon, but come on, we all know she doesn't have any friends.
I feel like someone
Pokemon, yes. It was Pokemon and single mothers, okay.
out of my life who used to be a close friend, but was lying to me, lying about me, and generally causing me so much emotional turmoil that I needed a lot of therapy. But after I cut them off, I did not message them once.
You go, Pokey. Good for you for not messaging him. You earned that candle. Also, for the guys who haven't been forced to watch Eat, Pray, Love, it is quite possibly the most woman movie that's ever been created.
That's freaking saying something. But then again, it stars a middle-aged Julia Roberts. What the hell you can expect?
Eat, Pray, Love is about a 4-year-old New York career girlie with no children who goes off to Italy and gets fat, and then becomes wise by learning from India after she divorces her husband, who is deeply in love with her because he's short, I'm guessing, or because she got married too young, which is what she said in the movie, of course.
Getting married too young? You're supposed to marry young. That's how it freaking works. You're supposed to marry young when you have zero body count, when you don't have a whole lot of emotional trauma, so you can actually build a long-lasting and trusting relationship with another man. But modern women love to turn around and say, I was too young when I got married. Then you shouldn't be dating. You shouldn't be talking to men. You shouldn't be doing any of that. But then again, modern women are convinced that their brain doesn't fully develop until they're 25, but that still doesn't stop them from buying booze and guns, am I right?
They have to make sure they poison young women into thinking that being like 28 is too young to make a commitment. I mean, undateable men have their manic pixie dream girl movies, and undateable women have Eat, Pray, Love, and Morning Glory Milking Farm, for when the life advice from such movies turns them into a spinster.
I'm ridding myself of a lot of my people-pleasing tendencies, and I'm so proud of myself for that. I'm wishing you a happy new year, and I'm really impressed.
She seriously lit a bunch of cake candles for herself to blow out, and all she's talking about is how she blocked people. That's not stunning. That's not brave. I mean, that's pretty much on par for your typical modern woman.
Well, I'm glad you're figuring out shit that you should have learned when you're like 21.
You always talk in bumper sticker.
Pokemon has definitely seen this movie. She constantly speaks in platitudes that should be on Hallmark cards. By the way, just as a little side note, the woman who wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love was fucking batshit insane.
Well, that should be a surprise to absolutely nobody. I mean, all you gotta do is take a look at that 1,000 jet stare and know that there's no lights on in that friggin' house to speak of.
The screen is a video about that. Let me just say that it makes sense that the advice given in that movie is horrendous feel-good bullshit that will actually harm your life if you follow it. Now, as for the late bloomer part and learning teenager lessons when you're almost middle-aged, I guess that's fine.
I don't think that's a fair assessment. Most modern women don't have teenage learning experiences at least until the age of 42.
Better learn late than never, but the part that I had an issue with is the part where she has to publicly congratulate herself because it comes off as incredibly narcissistic.
That's because she's a rampant narcissist. She's a friggin' stream.
You beat me to it. It's because she's a narcissist. Alright, we finished that one. Alright, here we go. Low ones.
Respect yourself, Kings. Stay focused. Men who have been in the friend zone and know how bad it can get, it's just not worth it at all for men. If you would like to get early access to video...
Oh, and that one's over too. It's the Philly Phil Twitch Show. Philly Phil Twitch Show. Philly Phil Twitch Show. I'm Philly Phil. This is a Twitch show. Thursday, we'll take some notes. I don't really remember nothing. No hot takes from these videos. We could have did the regular creators. Probably would have been better.